Welcome to the Agents Lounge podcast, where we talk all things real estate with the industry's top performers. Join us as we dive into the inspiring journeys of successful agents and uncover the secrets to their success. Whether you're a seasoned agent or just starting out, we got the tips and tricks to help you navigate the world of real estate. Brought to you by Integrity Comfort Solutions. So grab a seat and join us in the Agents Lounge.
All right, and welcome back to the Agents Lounge podcast. We're a little bit crammed. We're a little bit tight today, but that's okay. We've got some special guests joining us. First, I'll give our non-real estate agent a shout out, Mr. Mitch Donahue. And Mitch is with Comparion Insurance.
That is correct.
Right? So you are essentially an insurance broker.
I am an independent agent.
Independent agent,
yes,
okay.
sir.
But you have the ability to shop around different companies and get different rates and try to find people basically the best deal.
Yeah, that's exactly right. So I'm a property and casualty insurance agent. We partner with over 25 different carriers. We specialize in home, auto, life insurance, boat, motorcycle, RV, and we even have some 1 to 4 family rental products we can work with.
Sweet. All right. So that I just wanted to give you a quick little this is who he is. We'll dive a little deeper into that as we move along. Okay. Switching over here to our special guest for the Agents Lounge, Miss Prescilla Perales.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Is that right?
Uh-huh.
Okay. And Prescilla is a commercial real estate agent with KW.
Correct.
Right here in San Antonio. Obviously, the whole purpose of this podcast, Prescilla, is we want to learn more about your story. So we'll be talking to you. We'll be finding out when you got started and why and how that's been going and all that good stuff. So above all else, let's start with this. Both of y'all, welcome to the Agents Lounge podcast.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
Thank you for
having
being
me
here.
as well.
And let's not forget, we have another guy over here off to the side. His name is Francisco Bermudez Jr., and he is the show sponsor with Integrity Comfort Solutions, right?
Yes,
So
sir.
say hello, Francisco.
Howdy.
And we're trying something a little different this time. For the first time, we're doing Facebook Live so that we can just turn up the pressure just a little bit, right?
It's a lot of fun.
On my time, right?
Right, exactly. Usually I tell people, this is not recorded, just relax. I mean, it's not live, right? Just relax, but now it's, you can't relax.
Yeah, exactly.
No, the show is on. No, I'm kidding. We're going to have fun either way. That's all we do around here. So that's the best part of all this stuff that we do. We talk. We have a good time. We promote our businesses. You can't ask for more than that.
Right.
What more can you ask for?
Exactly
Right,
right.
Mitch? Yeah, exactly. So, all right, let's talk to Prescilla.
Mhm.
Okay, so you were telling me before we started recording the show that you are a commercial real estate agent, that you've always been a commercial real estate agent,
Correct.
and that when you got started, you literally started there
Correct.
as a commercial real estate
Yes.
agent. What year was that? How long have you been doing this?
About 2 years now. Going
Okay,
on 2 years.
So this was after COVID.
yes, after COVID.
Okay, so can I ask you, what was your previous life before real estate?
So I've always kind of had some type of real estate in me. Either I did property management for many years, but right before I was a personal trainer.
Okay,
And so I was a small business owner myself.
nice.
And wanted to grow and get a space and all those things, but then COVID happened, and so at that point,
Yeah.
I couldn't work in a gym anymore. I was a mobile trainer, so I'd come
Okay.
to you and I would train you at your place.
Okay,
But then COVID happened. I have a special needs son, and I didn't need to be around a lot of people anymore. So I was
Sure.
like, this isn't where I need to be.
yep.
And so yeah, I had to let go of my clients and just kind of be a stay-at-home mom. And then I was like, this isn't really for me either.
Yeah.
So I love being a stay-at-home mom, but I'm also super hyper, and I got to do something.
I
so.
got you. So you started getting that itch.
Yes.
You were like,
yes.
okay. And then you decided you want to go to real estate school.
So actually, I went into real estate school after high school,
Okay.
but I never really pursued it because I
Okay.
was a single mom,
Okay.
and I couldn't live off commission.
Sure,
So
sure.
I was like, I can't do this. So I, fast forward many, many years, been with my husband for 20 years.
Okay.
He works, he's the breadwinner, and I was
Sure.
like, all right, this is the time. And
Yep.
so I'm very lucky that I get to have that.
Nice.
Because, as you know, agents live off commission.
Right,
So
right.
he holds down the house, and
Right.
and I bring in the extra money we get to have fun with, and so
There
it's,
you
it's
go.
fun. It works. So,
Yeah. No, that's fantastic. That's awesome. So you were telling me that when you went to talk with them at KW, they were telling you we have a need right now for more commercial, right? And you kind of
Yes.
felt like that was a better fit.
Well, so I knew as a small business owners, I wanted to help other business owners from,
Yeah.
before. My brother owns a car dealership, so it's kind of like in my blood, I guess.
Okay.
And I just gravitate towards more of that. And so, they call me like, you want to do residential? And I'm like, not really. It's real emotional. I'm not that person.
Yeah.
You got to be out every weekend.
Yeah.
I just can't do that with a special needs son.
Got you.
So I sat down and I told him, I was like, I just want to do commercial.
Yeah.
And I got lucky that they're trying to build the KW commercial brand. And they have, which is great. So we have an awesome mentor program. So if anybody wants to do real estate commercial,
Yep.
you can reach out to me and I'll help you out.
Good stuff,
And so it's fun. I have a lot of awesome mentors and that I've been able to learn from.
So tell me what the last 2 years have been like for you. The market got kind of crazy because of COVID, right? Obviously.
Right. Yeah.
But that was more what I see and hear is more on the residential side. So what has the commercial side been like the last couple of years?
I'm not slow ever. I think he's tried to get me in here a few times, and I just was so busy that I couldn't even respond back to his emails.
Wow.
Because I do have a lot of clients that I help.
Yeah.
Right now, I feel like I'm helping a lot more small business owners, women, which
Okay.
I love. I love helping them grow or, get more locations.
Sure.
And so that's kind of my niche right now.
Sure.
But I'm never I'm always busy. I'm always doing something.
So that world is booming.
I believe so. Yeah. I mean,
Wow.
there's a lot of people that had big spaces that are like, we need to downsize.
Sure. Yeah. That's part
right.
because
Exactly.
of the economic
Yeah.
situation, right?
For sure.
Yeah.
And then we have people that want to go into co-space and all that kind of stuff. So,
Yeah.
I am seeing a lot of that, but they
Yep.
still need spaces because
Sure.
not all people can work out of their house.
Right.
So,
Exactly.
yeah.
So your job, you're seeing a wide mix of commercial movement.
Correct.
Everything from I need a big giant warehouse
Right.
to just get me a little small retail spot.
1,000 square feet, 1,500, or a restaurant,
Yeah.
things like that.
So
yeah.
some of the stuff you do is helping people to lease,
Correct.
and some of it is to help people buy.
Right. I have
You do both.
investor. Yeah, I have an investor that I help him buy locations and things like that.
Okay, got you. So that's kind of the scope of a commercial real estate agent these days. Is you could do a mixture of leasing as well as buying and selling.
Correct.
It's a little mixture of all that.
Right.
Okay.
So,
And go ahead.
uh,
What's up, Francisco?
So, I mean, congratulations on first of all, because you're busy all the time. We don't hear that very often.
Yeah. Very
The
true.
other
Thank you.
thing is, if somebody wants to get a commercial property, like, what's the process like? Because I'm sure there's a lot of people that want to start a business, or they don't know if they can afford a property,
Right.
or
Yeah.
if they even qualify. Is
Very
it the
good
same
question.
as renting a?
It
an
depends for
apartment?
sure. I will say that I've had small business owners that, like, I want to get that. And it's like their first space. I'm like, okay, slow down.
Right.
Let's start
Yeah.
small.
Right.
And you can start. The good thing is San Antonio is a good area to kind of start small. I'm actually originally from Austin.
Okay.
So in Austin, I think it's a lot harder to
Sure.
start small. You don't have a lot of investors that have a lot. I mean, they do have a lot of spaces, and I've taken some clients to locations where I didn't even get a commission on it.
Mm,
And I'm like, it is what it is. You win some, you lose some. But I don't even look at it that way because I know at some point that person's going to grow
Yeah.
and they're going to reach back out to me.
Sure.
So maybe
Sure.
I didn't make anything off of then. And I'm okay with that because at the end of the day, I'm helping somebody. And that's kind of how I look at it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, kind of to Francisco's point, if I am a new business and I want to get started, do they look at my financials, my
Yes.
credit? Is it very similar
So-
to?
We will look at your financials. One of the things I kind of want to start helping other business owners do is learn how to build their business credit. That is so important because it's
Yeah.
different than your personal credit.
It is. It's a
So-
whole another animal.
It is for
Yeah.
sure. And so if you can teach them that, then it'll be so much easier to get them into a space.
I see.
But that's the hard part.
Sure.
So
Yeah. Absolutely.
it's, and if they don't have that, then we go off your credit.
Okay.
And if you
Yeah.
don't have good credit, you're not going to get a space. And I can
Okay.
tell you, I have had a couple of clients that did not have good credit. And unfortunately, I couldn't get them into a space.
Yes.
And if I did, then it was maybe an owner that is a little more lenient. And,
Yes.
and then I don't get paid on those. But it is what it is. Help them
Yeah.
build their business credit and then get them a big one later.
Yes.
And then, what about finding the right property? How does that work? Well,
So
what
we
type of
have
training do y'all-
almost just like the MLS.
Yeah.
We have our own CoStar, LoopNet, and business owners will post their properties on there.
Yeah.
So I go on there, I look at them, but we have to make sure because a lot of people are like, I want to spend only $2,500.
Yeah.
Well, that could be off of you have to include triple nets, and there's all kinds of things you have to include. So that kind of limits a lot of spaces as well.
Sure.
But
Sure.
then you have your gross leases, and so I think those are a lot easier
Yeah.
because they're lower in price. So
And what about down payments? Do they?
so it's more depending on if your credit is bad. Then
Okay.
they might say, "Hey, I need 3 months of deposit.
Okay.
First month's rent, 3,500, something like that."
Yep.
So
Okay, got you. That's on a lease.
correct.
Gotcha.
Yes.
But if you like anything else, if you're buying your own building, you're gonna have to put a.
Oh
pretty-
yeah, like
there-
35%.
There's no FHA, right? On FHA loans on commercial stuff.
No,
Right,
no
yeah.
FHA.
So everything is a conventional loan.
Yeah, well, yeah, you
basically,
can
or
use
special
SBA.
financing
You can
kinda-
use
okay.
SBA, which is always nice because
Yeah.
it's a lower interest rate.
Yep.
So I always try to help them get into something like that if they're wanting to do one of those.
Yeah.
But it's hard as well.
Yeah.
A lot harder because banks aren't just giving money away right now.
Sure,
Yeah.
sure. But if ultimately if you are going to get serious and you want to buy your own building, you should be ready to come to the table with some funds.
Oh yeah,
Some pretty
for sure.
serious funds.
yeah,
Right?
yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
And
okay.
yeah, they want proof of funds. They don't want to say, are you sure you have that? No, they want to see that
Oh,
you
they
have
don't do that anymore?
No, sorry.
Man, I was around during that 2008 period, 2007, where you just walked in. You were like, "Hey, you know what? I got 10 million in the bank. Sign right here. Let's go. Let's do this." you know?
Right, for sure.
Yeah.
Brave new world.
Yeah. No kidding.
Also, what type of customers are you currently, or what type of properties have you recently found, or have you
So I'm having a
helped?
lot of small business owners. So I've helped barbershop recently.
Barbershop?
Working women's San Antonio. I'm helping them right now find a location in Stone Oak. Salons, spas, offices, restaurants. A churro location that I just closed in Arbor Park, which I'm super excited to
Nice.
get them in there because I'm like, can we get some churros?
Right.
So,
yeah, of
so I'm
course.
excited for that.
No
So
kickback
yeah.
there.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, I just want a churro. That's all I want.
So
No.
you're saying barbers, restaurants,
Mhm.
doctor's offices,
CBD offices, CBD locations.
Yeah. CBD are
That's-
hot. Yeah. Very
that's a
hot right
fun
now.
one because a lot of people don't want to do those locations. So it's
Really?
so it's a lot of owners are like, nope, and I'm like,
Oh, so you have to find the owner of the building that's willing to lease that.
correct.
Yeah.
Yes.
I see.
Like I have a client in Dallas. Oh my gosh. That is crazy. I can't find any. So if anybody in Dallas will take a CBD location,
Yeah.
please reach out because I've been looking for like 2 months.
It's that bad?
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is insane.
It's
I
insane.
didn't realize that.
Yeah,
I
it's
had
bad.
No idea. What about when you're doing those co-working places? Do you like? Is there a way for you to get paid on those?
Yeah, they're not that big though.
Okay,
It's smaller.
that's
But it's
what I
like,
figured.
it's all right.
Because those are. I mean, the people are getting a very affordable setup,
Correct,
right? So
right.
there's not even a lot of. There's not a lot to go around.
No,
to
no,
begin with.
no. Those are
Okay.
little ones.
But if that's a a place for you to start a relationship,
Right, exactly.
again, to your point, you can grow with them,
Yep.
right?
Yeah, because
So-
one day they're gonna outgrow that office in the
Sure.
co-working space. Yeah.
Sure, got you. Okay, well, good information. We still have some more questions for you, but we're going to switch over to Mitch for a little bit here and learn a little bit also about him as well. So I know Mitch myself personally. We've hung out at the cigar bar a few times. Mitch has helped me with my own personal insurance needs. Thank you for that.
Hey, what we're here for.
And so I've learned a little bit about your backstory. But for those that don't know, can you tell us a little bit about what you were doing before you started running Comparion? And what was your other life like? Because you had a couple of other lives.
Yeah, yeah.
Right?
So I've kind of done the full spectrum of kind of the real estate services industry. So I started out, years ago out of school, I started out working for Nationwide Insurance. So I was doing direct sales there.
Yeah.
Kind of cut my teeth, learned the industry really well. Was really successful, and then kind of overnight just transitioned into real estate. So I was actually a real estate agent with JB Goodwin Realtors for primarily focused on like first time home buyers. Did that for 6 years.
That was kind of like what window of time? Can you give me
That
a?
was that's great. So 2014 to late 2019, early 2020.
So right before COVID.
Right before COVID.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Got it.
So towards the end of 2020, I actually transitioned into Wells Fargo. So I was actually doing residential mortgages for Wells Fargo for 3 years until last February when the
Okay.
interest rates kind of changed that market for us a bit.
Yeah.
I was fortunate enough when we got let go, had a lot of runway, good severance. And so when I was looking at opportunities, comparing made a lot of sense. I was able to kind of take a lot of my skills, my network that I'd kind of built up, and transition it into this new exciting organization. The best part about being an independent agent is that we're able to offer so many different options for our customers. We can act really as a true fiduciary. Not everybody's going to be the best fit for every product, and so that's what I really love about what I'm doing now.
For sure, yeah. And what is a good referral partner look like for you? Who tends to send you good business?
Yeah, so that's been like, obviously there's the obvious ones. Real estate agents are great. Loan officers, even really anybody related in the real estate industry. Car dealers can be good, but I've had a lot of success, working with the trades. So your HVAC roofers are fantastic. Electricians and plumbers are huge for me. We can offer, if anytime one of these tradesmen replace one of these major systems in a home on the homeowner's insurance, you're looking at 10, 15, 20% discounts off the bat with your carrier. A lot of people don't know that.
Wow.
And so it's been a great way that I've been able to integrate into the sales process with a lot of these people. Like, hey, I'm an added benefit I can add your client, whether it's just reviewing their policies. Even if we don't write them something, I can make sure that they can save money with their current insurance carrier too.
I like that. Yeah, no, that is really slick. That's actually news to me.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that. So keep that in mind. If you get an upgrade and you've got a new machine that's more energy efficient, this, that, and the other, basically the insurance is saying, hey, we can give you a better deal because you're less of a risk in a sense, right, to us.
No, exactly, yeah. So, I mean, roofs are the big one. So the roof is the most common claim you're going to have. It hails. Right now, I mean, we had a hailstorm in San Antonio just last week. Got a lot of fun calls about that. But yeah, we're in the peak hail season already, and it's going to go really all the way through August probably. So your roof is a huge significant factor. Your HVAC, where we can go to Integrity for a great HVAC system. But those give you a pretty significant discount. And then especially in San Antonio in the older homes, the electrical panel. When the electrical panel's been updated, that can be a significant, it mitigates a ton of fire risk on these properties. Basically the younger you can make the systems in your home, the better. Okay, yeah. And anytime you upgrade those things, you should essentially be thinking about Mitch and saying, I need to call him, let him know that I upgraded these things. Absolutely.
And then you can literally give a quote and like, okay, yeah, your rates would go down by X.
Absolutely. Yeah, we take a look at that all day. That's where I really specialize. I take a look at kind of a full risk profile for my client. We take a look at the age of the systems in the house. And different carriers have different tolerances, and appetites for the level of risk they're willing to take. And so a carrier that, if you have an older home, it might be significantly more the second we update that system in their system. We get that deep dive look. You can see significant savings.
Okay.
So, I mean, I'm 36 now, but I had the same car insurance when I was in college, and and now I notice that maybe I wasn't properly insured back then as I am now. But what are some of the things that you can help people with if they already have an insurance, or if they're going through maybe buying a new home, or how do you know if they have the right insurance for themselves?
Yeah, no, that's a great question. And so that's why our initial consultation is so important. We ask, kind of piggybacking on what we were talking about before, the age of the systems is something a lot of people don't deep dive in, other agencies don't. One of the biggest things that I look at when I first see the policies for any of my clients, especially on the auto insurance side, is going to be their liability limits. So state of Texas, the state minimum for liability insurance is just $30,000 per person, $60,000 per accident for the bodily injury. So that's if somebody gets hurt, they're only going to pay out a max of $60K. And then $25,000 for property damage. If you're driving around Stone Oak right now and you rear end a Mercedes, you might hit your whole limit right there off the bat. And so they can come after, assets and income. So it's really important. That's one of the first things I always check when we're looking at anybody's situation. Just explain, hey, has anybody ever taken the time to talk to you about, in the event of an accident, how much you might be liable for? Right. So that's the first step. But there's a lot of different factors. Your employer can be a huge. Your employer in your occupation can get you discounts. There's different. Every company's got partnerships and affinity partnerships with different carriers, so it's always important to take a look at those options. If you have kids, 16-year-olds who are driving, if they got good grades, that's a huge factor. You can get up to 20% off your policies if your kids are good drivers. So
interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. Wow. Did you say good grades?
I know.
Good grades. Yeah, if you got a 3.0 average or more, you can get a big Big decrease.
Wow.
Yeah.
And while we're on that subject, let's make something crystal clear. Okay, what's the adult version of a grade score?
The adult version. Well,
Yeah,
I mean,
that would be your credit
it
score.
would be your credit score.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and so and let's make sure we understand this from the expert. Are your insurance rates tied to your credit?
Absolutely. 100%.
So it's the same system.
Yep.
They're basically saying, okay, you get good grades, we'll give you a discount. You get a good adult grade, which is a good credit score, we'll give you a discount.
Yep.
Right?
Yep, and it's not so it's a soft hit on your score, so it's not going to be like a hard inquiry like when you're applying for a loan
Sure.
or anything like that. But everything's a factor.
Yeah, they're
really-
definitely taking that into
yeah,
consideration.
what it's called is an insurance score. So it takes credit, but it also takes how long you've been with a carrier. If you change carriers often,
Yeah.
what your current liability limits are. So if you carry state minimum liability, you can actually be seen as a higher risk to these insurance carriers. Where it seems kind of counterintuitive. If I carry higher limits and I'm in an accident, I might have to pay. That carrier is going to pay out more potentially, but
Sure.
people with lower or people with higher limits actually make better decisions financially long term.
Sure, I got you. Yeah, no, that's interesting. And is it true that it's on a to Z? Is that how the scoring system is for insurance? Is it, or is it literally going off of a number?
So yeah, we don't see if
You don't see like 650.
I don't
or,
see a 650 or an 820, and
the insurance has its own kind of
yeah,
proprietary.
it is kind of like an A to Z.
a letter grading thing. Okay, that's what I thought. Yeah, that's what I thought. That's what I had always heard. Is there insurance credit repair? Is there a way to clean up my insurance score?
I mean, so
Like,
I
let's
haven't
be
had,
serious.
honestly, I haven't been asked that question before. But I mean, so if you go through a credit repair service, it's obviously going to help.
Yeah.
But there's, like I said, it's why I bring up the insurance score. There's so many factors
Right.
outside of credit that can affect it. It can be biggest thing, you having a lapse in coverage. So even if you go just a few days without coverage, that can drastically affect your scores. Because when you look at it, it makes sense. When you see an insurance carrier and they see, hey, this person was uncovered for 3 days.
Yeah.
What happened? We don't know. And so
Right.
if they write a policy on them and then they immediately come with a claim, that might have been potentially, something that shouldn't have been filed.
I see. Yeah, but what if you have an accident
Mhm.
and is there a way to kind of, some of these insurance carriers have what they would call almost like a forgiveness.
Yeah.
Right.
No, that great question. Yeah. So yeah, there are many carriers who have either accident or a combination of minor violation forgiveness. So you get a small
too many speeding tickets.
you get an accident, and those are great opportunities to obviously sell. It keeps us people in our book for quite a while, so that's a
Sure.
good thing too. But
Yeah.
it's a good great benefit. So
Yeah,
it'll
yeah.
waive that. Generally, it's the first accident and violation per driver.
Okay.
Now, if you get 2, what happens a lot of times is they'll rate both. So you want to
see.
make sure it's kind of like hey, here's a get out of jail free card. But
Yeah.
then tighten it up.
Yeah,
It's kind of
yeah.
how they want you to do.
You know what's crazy is that my background, I used to be in the credit space myself, so I spent a lot of time in that world, and I found that a bad credit score can actually cost you more on an auto policy than a DWI.
Oh wow.
In some cases,
Like
yeah.
in the right scenarios, like in other words, if you have a DWI but you have really good credit, the person with just really crappy credit and no DWI could still sometimes actually pay more. I mean, it's just insane. I mean, in other words, the credit score really makes a big impact
It's
on the insurance.
It really is. It's a significant factor.
Yeah, it is. So, just like with anything else, good to keep in mind. Try to improve your credit so you can buy commercial property, so you can have good insurance, so you can get qualified for a new HVAC system. I mean, it just affects every facet of life, right?
Absolutely.
So, and no matter what it is that we're doing. Mitch, who is your kind of? Are you mostly focused on auto, or are you mostly focused on the home, or it's really just anything that people need?
Yeah, so I specialize in personal lines. So
Personal
auto
lines, okay.
insurance, homeowners insurance is key. But really, we take a look at the full profile. So I mean, a big thing that we do is life insurance as well.
Okay.
I think it's frankly the most important product we sell. People in the city, you see these plate sales happening all over
time.
the place, and it
All the
breaks my
time.
heart. And
Or GoFundMe's?
yeah, and a big kind of thing that people don't realize is that the barrier to entry to an affordable life policy isn't that much. A lot of people think it's too expensive.
Yeah.
But they just might not understand the difference between like a whole life product and a term life product. How flexible those products can be to kind of fit any sort of financial situation or even achieve any goal that they're trying to.
Sure. Yeah. No, it makes a lot of sense. Well, that's good stuff, and I really appreciate all the information. The insurance is, again, I was kind of mentioning when I got here, it's like it's kind of a boring but necessary dare I say, evil.
Absolutely, I
Yeah.
get it. The good news is that you got me. I don't think it's boring at all. But
There you go.
it takes a
We got a
special
guy
kind
that
of
actually
person.
nerds out on insurance. Yeah, that's who you want as your agent.
Yeah,
for
don't
sure.
go online and try to find a good rate because
Yeah,
anything online is usually it's gonna change or
sure,
they're not.
sure. Yeah, and I'm just gonna throw this out there too, as kind of we wrap up with Mitch's segment. Our information is that there's still a lot of the big box guys, right? The big box cubicle insurance companies, we should call them, right? And there's one in particular in San Antonio that's a little bit more military focused. I had been a member since the year 2000, and after 23 years with that company, I couldn't afford it anymore. They're just
Yeah, it's expensive.
they priced me out, and it was one of those things. Like, my dad had it; he was in the military. He joined in 1967, and so it was like, there was almost emotional thing. And then I was like, why am I? It's too expensive. So then when I got with Mitch, he shopped around. He got me a really good fair rate. And I've talked to a lot of people, and a lot of them are like, yeah, I used to be with that company for a long time too, and it's just too expensive. So sometimes, especially in this economy, the gas prices are going up again, and we got a lot of inflation. We got to find ways to trim costs, whatever it takes. So contact this guy.
Appreciate it.
He'll do that. Back to our real estate agent.
Hey, Priscilla, I have a question for you.
Yes.
So you started back during COVID, right?
No, after.
After COVID,
Uh-huh.
I just find it amazing how, like, what are some of the things that you're doing to constantly find new clients or to constantly prospect?
A lot of networking. I do a lot of networking. In a lot of networking groups, and referrals is big for what as well. So about networking, referrals are my biggest.
Can you mention some of the networking groups that have worked well for you? Are there any in particular that stand out?
So Working Women's of San Antonio, or Working
Okay.
Moms of San Antonio. I'm sorry.
Okay. I don't think they'll let us join that one.
No, sorry, but small business owners that are moms, and so that's one that's huge. I've gotten a lot of my clients from that.
Okay.
And then I've done some BNI, I've never done a BNI type
Okay.
thing, but
Okay.
something like that.
Okay.
I've done other ones. Y'all put me on the spot.
How about have you visited the BNIs?
So
a visit?
I haven't done that yet. Actually, it's on.
Okay.
It's on my to-do list.
Yeah. That's how we know each other. We're
Okay.
all BNI people.
Yeah, I
and,
got invited to one about a few weeks ago, and I think it was spring break, and I had to be
Okay.
with my kids, so I
Yeah.
couldn't go that week.
Yeah.
But I do have it on my to-do list, and I do want to make one for sure.
Well, that's
Yeah.
pretty cool that, like, you're finding like your niche of what works.
Yes.
Like,
That's right.
so that's pretty
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
exactly. Okay, so if I'm a real estate agent, we're getting close to wrapping up here, and I am considering joining the real estate world. Do you think that commercial real estate is a good fit for most anybody, or is that something that people need to really give some serious consideration to? Because I heard that there's no payouts for the typical person doesn't get paid for a while.
Right. Yeah. So it is a little harder, I will say for sure. It's not like residential where you get paid fast.
Yeah.
So my deals do take a little longer than others. So if you're a single mom or something like that, it's going to be harder unless you have a good cushion and amount of money.
Yeah.
It's hard. So I'm very lucky that my husband works,
Sure.
and does what he does,
course.
because he's able to support us.
Yep.
And so yeah. It's a
So
little-
that needs to be really taken into consideration.
Yes,
You need to have a
yes.
decent little runway
yeah.
to build and grow on this thing,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah, because if not, and you don't get paid because you get paid whenever we sign lease, and we don't get paid again until they move in. So it could be 120 days, and then let's
Yeah.
just say they get free rent on top of that, because I do get free rent.
Yeah.
And so,
Nice.
and things like that, I make sure and help my clients get everything that they can,
Sure.
to benefit for sure. So yeah, it can take a while.
Okay. So tell us who's your ideal prospect right now? Who are you looking for? Is there anybody in particular that you
Small
really
business owners, just
Okay.
anybody looking for locations to
Rent or
lease,
buy.
rent
Lease
or
or
buy.
buy, yeah.
Correct, yes. And so that's kind of who I like to help.
There you
Especially
go.
if they're women. I love helping women, just because go women.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah.
I mean, I love helping guys too. So,
Gotcha.
just say,
No, but you can relate to them.
yes,
So
yes.
that might be one of the reasons why you can
Right.
with the
Yep.
program. So
Yeah. So I do love that.
So you mentioned that you're married and you have a special needs son.
Yes.
Is it?
Uh-huh.
Do you have any other kids?
I do. I have 3 others. I have 4 kids,
Okay.
and 2 grandkids.
Very nice.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, yeah.
So what does Prescilla do when she's not with her mind completely wrapped around real estate? What does
So,
your downtime look like?
spending time with my family, my kids. Like tomorrow, I have my granddaughter, so that's really exciting for me.
Nice.
I love being with them as well. And then either traveling to Austin or being in here or being in San Antonio with them, and just
I was just going to ask, do you
outdoors.
still go to Austin?
I do. My family lives in Austin. My 25-year-old, I'm sorry, lives in Austin, and with his son. So I go
Nice.
and visit them.
I love that town. It's beautiful,
It is, but
Austin's
it's
beautiful.
so
but it's jam-packed.
yeah.
Little sardine can.
Just a little
city
bit.
There.
Yeah, yeah.
Especially traffic-wise, right?
Yeah. I'm
Yeah.
always like, I will never move back here for that.
Yeah. That's been a nightmare for a long time.
Yeah.
Either way, great information. Thank you very much, Prescilla, for sharing everything from your commercial real estate, woman in commercial real estate point of view. That was really informational and really insightful. So thank you for being here today.
Thank
on
you for
the
having
Agents
me.
Lounge. Absolutely. And thank you again, Mitch.
Appreciate it. Thanks
As
for
well.
having me.
And again, on behalf of Air Integrity Comfort Solutions, the Agents Lounge podcast, thank you guys. And our first time going Facebook Live.
yeah.
We'll see you guys later. And that does it for another episode of the Agents Lounge. We'll catch you here next time.
You've been listening to the Agents Lounge podcast, brought to you by Air Integrity Comfort Solutions. To learn more about the resources mentioned on today's show or to listen to past episodes, please visit agentsloungepodcast.com.